I am Abhishek Dey, and I believe that students must be taught about queer communities at school.
Hello, my name is Oliver and I'm a trans guy who just came home to cold Sweden after 2 epic weeks in India. Apart from traveling through Agra and Jaipur, walking amongst beautiful houses and cows, I made it to Delhi where I met up with a bunch of cool queer people who agreed to share their stories with me and my camera.
I'm Abhishek Dey. I'm a research scholar at IIT Delhi. I hail from the eastern part of India, which is West Bengal. I'm from Kolkata. I am a cisgendered homosexual man. My pronouns are he, him.
Abhishek realized that he's gay somewhere in his teens.
Usually because of the surge of hormones during puberty, you start having an inclination towards a particular sex. It was in 2006, I started having feelings for guys and I could not explain it, what was happening. So I grew up, and then came the internet and I got the word to define myself. And then I understood, but then I had to hide it from all the people around. Just to escape bullying by people, I did not tell anyone. In 2017 or 18 most probably, I came out to some of my friends, and finally in 2020 during the lockdown, I told it to my parents.
And this is how his parents reacted.
See, I've been raised in a conservative family. So since a very childhood, I've been traveling to different parts of India. So because of this reason, my parents are a little accepting than the traditional families. Okay, a little more accepting. So when I told it to my mother, she could not understand because nobody taught her about the LGBTQIA community and she did not have an exposure to it. So she could not figure it out. She thought it was a mental disease. She wanted to take me to some sort of hospital. She has told it to my father, but my father is in denial. That's something of this sort. Time will heal it, like it's sort of a disease or it's sort of an attraction for a particular person. And with time it will go off, it'll go away, and someday I'll be marrying a woman and I'll have kids. The Indian system is like that, you know, like the parents educate the children and they want them to have a life they dream of, the parents dream of. Marrying a woman, raising children, you know, an ideal child. You cannot deviate from the path. If you deviate, then you're hurting your parents' emotions, nothing else.
Same-sex relationships were still considered criminal when Abhishek grew up. It wasn't until 2018 when they decriminalized same-sex relations. And of course, it wasn't easy to grow up in that environment.
If I talk about my childhood experience, I was very scared because there was no law protecting the homosexual rights before 2018. The judgment is also very recent, 2018, right, when Section 377 of IPC was read down by the Supreme Court of India. But before that, nobody was protecting us. And there are many cases where people from the community, the queer community, were being bullied or being harassed by the police itself, the people who are supposed to be protecting us. Because of this reason, I could not come out to people. But then if I look into today's generation, since people are very active on social media, and I too have an account on Instagram which is now public, and I do it just to make people aware that yes, people like us exist and love comes in all forms and shapes, and it's okay if you're like this. So that's how it is.
And Abhishek thinks it's important to teach kids about the LGBTQIA+ community.
See, it's always better to have knowledge about things that you do not know. It's not bad if you are wanting to have more and more knowledge about something, because ignorance makes you do wrong things. People have been bullying because they've been raised in such a way. Their mindset has been shaped in such a way because they were living in such an environment.
And a lot of this anti-queer mindset dates back to colonial times.
Prior to the colonial era, the transgender people, they had eminent positions in politics and arts. But then the Britishers came. Then there was this 1871 ordinance which criminalized all trans person in India, because of which a lot of people suffered. If you look at the Hijra communities or the various religious transgender communities in India, you see their deplorable state. The government has taken steps, but at the grassroots level we still see people begging, forced into prostitution. What about them? If you're really wanting to work for them, you have to be more vigilant You have to work with your heart. Just stating something on pen and paper would not work.
Abhishek thinks that India should follow other states and countries when it comes to teaching about these things.
Like if I look into the world news, 2011, California in US was the first state to teach about LGBTQ people. And in 2019 also different states in US has adopted teaching about LGBTQ people. Here nobody talks about it. I came to know about intersex conditions in 12th standard when I was about to complete my schooling. Very late stage, and that too, just 2 little paragraphs, 2 little sentences. More has to be taught to the students, because when students learn about this, they'll build up empathy, they'll build compassion for people, for the diversity that is existing around them. Because if they're ignorant about it, their ignorant attitude will make them bully other people, make fun of them, destroy somebody else's confidence.
Work has been done to try to introduce teaching about LGBTQIA+ in schools.
There are people who are specializing in gender studies from Delhi University, from Ashoka University. They came up with this manual. It was released online in the NCERT site. But then I forgot the name of this person. So he was a member of this religious group called RSS. He filed a complaint to the NCPCR. Said that it is going to, the words that were used were psychologically traumatized children, because teachers were actually told to talk about puberty blockers in those chapters where they'll teach about reproduction, about human sex, about continuity of species there, not young children. But then they shaped it in such a way that after reading this, teachers would influence children to take up puberty blockers and all that. So the NCPCR asked NCERT to strike it down. So it has now been removed. Hopefully it will come soon. And the government even accused people, those people who framed it, the government called them unqualified. They were professors from eminent universities, So that's fun and upsetting at the same time.
Teaching about these things would drastically improve the lives of queer students, because going to school as an LGBTQIA+ person is difficult.
There's a 2019 writers report in the state of Tamil Nadu, which is in south of India. More than 50% students, they skip classes because they're bullied in school, and 1/3 of them dropped because they were being bullied for being feminine or not conforming to the binary concept. The government is awarding transgender women with highest civilian awards like Padma Shri. But what are they doing for them so that they don't have to face harassment when they're growing up? Something has to be done at that stage too.
Finally, Abhishek is trying to raise awareness by being a positive role model on Instagram.
I have this public account on Instagram. So it's just to show people that it's not wrong to be gay, and be proud of your own sexuality. Okay, be bold. I've been getting a lot of good comments as well. And people say that they are looking for a happy future because they're seeing me and people like me. There are many pages about couples, about homosexual couples on Instagram, so that inspires them to be who they are. The main agenda is to show that yes, people like us exist. It is completely normal and it is just a part of your life. It does not define you. Your work and your nature and your compassion for people defines you. Your sexuality won't. So it doesn't matter.
If you enjoyed watching that video, please like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I really appreciate you showing your love in that way. If you also want to support the channel financially, that's possible via Patreon, but really no pressure. See you next time.